Hello friends, welcome back. In this tutorial, I would be explaining how to automate Edge browser using Excel macros. In the past, I had uploaded one tutorial in which I had explained how to automate the Chrome browser using Excel macros, on which I received a number of queries how to achieve the same using the Edge browser, and that is what I would be explaining in this tutorial. So first of all, let me give you a quick demo. This is my Excel macro. When I click on this button over here, you will see the Edge browser has come up. Now it will navigate to the website. It has done that. And now it's populating the fields, the first name, last name, gender, hobbies, occupation. It has populated these fields automatically. So this was done with the help of an Excel macro code, and how to write it, what are the steps, I'll be explaining you in detail in this tutorial. So without wasting any time, let's begin. So most of the steps are common which we have seen in the Chrome browser automation, but we'll do a quick revision. So the first step is we have to download and install the Selenium VBA, and this is the location from where we would be downloading it. So this is the website, and from here, if you would see in the center, you have something called Selenium Basic 2.0.9.exe. So you have to download this thing, and once you will download it, you will have this kind of a thing, Selenium Basic installer downloaded in your download location. This is the first step. I have already downloaded it, so I'm not downloading it right now. But once your download will get completed, you will have this kind of an installer available, and now you have to just double click and start the installation process. Very simple installation. You could see you have to just click on the next button, accept the agreement, click on the next button, again next. Now this is a very important step. Here you have to copy this location, you have to make a note of this location. This is very important. We would be making use of this location later on, but do not forget to make a note of this location once you are at this step. So I've just copied it and I'm pasting it on my notepad. So whatever is the installation location on your respective systems, please make a note of that location where Selenium Basic is getting installed. Next is we have to just click on install. I'm not clicking it because I have already installed this thing on my system. So I am just clicking on the cancel button. Once your installation is done, you have to go to the path where Selenium Basic got installed. So we had made a note of it. I'm just copying this path and going to this location. So you could see a number of things have already been installed on your system. What we have to do over here is, you could see this edge driver. This is an exe file. You have to delete it. This is an outdated edge driver file. It will not help in our automation, so we have to just remove it. So this file has been removed. Now we'll need an updated file. As I told you, this was an outdated file, but an updated file is needed. So from where you'll get this updated file? For that, first of all, we'll need to know what is the current version of our Edge browser. Depending on the current version of the Edge browser, we have to download the appropriate Edge driver. So let's go to our Edge browser. On the Edge browser, on the extreme top right hand side, click on these three dots, go to settings, select the last option about Microsoft Edge. And here you could see it is showing the version as 85.0 something something something. So we will need the Edge driver corresponding to this Edge browser version. So let's go ahead and download the Edge driver. To download it, open google.com and search Edge driver download. See the first option, WebDriver Microsoft Edge Developer. Click on it and you will come up on this website. Just scroll down and within the downloads section, you will find the different releases. If you see, our version was 85.5564.44. So if you see the line which I'm highlighting, release 85, and the first one within that, 85.0564.44, this is the version matching browser on this system. So I'll be downloading it. I'm selecting .x86. x86 will serve the purpose on both 32 and 64-bit systems, so I'm selecting x86. Once it is downloaded, you could see this kind of a exe file will be there in your downloads folder, ms edge driver. What you have to do is copy this ms edge driver and place it in the location where Selenium Basic is installed. Remember, this was the location from where we deleted the edge driver. Now I am pasting the new edge driver. But one thing to note, the name over here is ms edge driver. So this should be renamed. So I'm renaming it to edge driver. So now this is ready. This step is very important because if you will not have the updated edge driver, the automation will not work and your scripts will fail. So make sure you are updating the correct version of the edge driver in your system. Also, do not forget to rename the ms edge driver to edge driver, else automation would not work. So this was about the setup. Now let's move forward. Open a new Excel file. On this Excel file, go to the developer tab, Visual Basic. This is book 2. On this book 2, I'm doing a right click and inserting a module. Now, before writing the code, you have to go to Tools, within Tools References, and here, if you see, you have to select the Selenium type library. Now it is coming up over here on my system, but you may have to scroll down to search for it. It would be in the S section. Just try to locate Selenium type library, select that option and click on OK. Now you are in a position to start writing the code. So let's write the code. So I'm writing a sub as we write in normal macros. I'm giving the name as test edge auto. Now here, first of all, we'll have to define the object for WebDriver. It goes like this: dimension obj as new WebDriver. This option WebDriver will not come if you haven't selected Selenium type library in tools.references. Next thing is we have to tell the object to open the browser. For that, we have to write object which we created in this line. We'll be using that object obj dot start space within double inverted quotes edge. Here we are launching the edge browser, because of which we are mentioning edge, and the second parameter is as blank. Next is we have to tell the object to go to a specific website. So we'll tell obj.get, and here we'll mention the website. So I'll just copy the website name from here. Okay, so let's first execute up till now and see whether our installation and everything is working fine. As so I'm keeping a breakpoint over here, and now I'm clicking on this run button over here, the green button on the top. You could see something is happening. Edge browser has come up. Let's see whether it navigates to the website. It has navigated to the website. It has stopped at this breakpoint, which tells us the setup and everything is absolutely fine up till now. And now we are in a position to identify the elements on the Edge browser and automate the data entry part. So let's start identifying the elements. So if you want to populate first name, I should know something about the first name. So I right click on it, click on inspect. I will just put it in this format so that I'm able to view it clearly. Okay, so here it is telling the name is F name. Remember, the name is F name. So we'll have to tell the object to use this name. So I'll just copy this F name, and in the script, this is how we'll write it. So obj dot find element. So here in the IntelliSense, you'll come up with a number of options. But if you remember, we had seen the name property. So I'm selecting find element by name bracket within double inverted quotes. I'm putting the name as fname dot send keys, whatever I want to send. In my case, I want to send test. So I'm sending test. So this will populate the first name field. Do you want to see it? I'm just dragging this cursor over here, once again clicking on this green button, and in the browser you'd see it has correctly populated test in the first name. Now repeat the activity for the for the last name. So I click on this arrow pointer over here, and then once again click it on this last name text box, or you could do a right click and inspect. So here you could see it is highlighting to this last name. The name property over here is L name. So the entire text would remain as is. I'm copying it. Once again, we are using find element by name. Remember, the name is L name. So instead of F name, here I am writing L name. Let's execute this. Drag the cursor up, execute it. You could see last name is populated with test. Let's move forward. Next we have the gender field. Right click, inspect. Now name is gender, value is equal to M. But one thing to observe over here, if I do an inspect on the second radio button, which is female, I get the name as gender. So in this case, the gender is the same name for both male and female radio boxes. So instead of using name, we'll have to use something else which will uniquely identify it. So if you see, for male, the value is equal to M. For female, the value is equal to F. So we will have to use value. But for using value, we'll have to use something called XPath. I'll show you how to use XPath. You have to write obj dot find element by XPath. You get this option, open the bracket, close the bracket, within the bracket, put inverted commas, within inverted commas, start writing the XPath like this, slash slash star, then open and close square brackets. Within the square bracket, what we have to write? This is very important. So if I want to select the gender as male, what I'll do is I'll use value is equal to M. So since I'm using value, the attribute is value. So here I'm mentioning at the rate value is equal to within single inverted quotes the value, which is M in case of male. See, the value is equal to M for male. So this is what I have written over here in the XPath dot click, because here we are not doing any send keys, we have to perform a click operation. Let's see if this works fine. Once again, I drag my cursor, execute it, and see, you could see gender male has been clicked. If I wanted to select female, I would have just changed M to F over here. See, this works perfectly fine. So this is how you could identify using XPaths. Next is hobbies. For example, if I want to select the hobby as reading, so I'll do a right click over here on the checkbox for reading, and now it is telling me name is equal to hobbies, type is equal to checkbox, and value is equal to reading. So let me check the HTML for other hobbies. For example, traveling also has the same name as hobbies. So again here, instead of using name, we'll select the XPath. So the value, if I want to select as reading, I keep reading over here. Make sure it is exactly the cases, the spelling should exactly match over here. If it would have been R over here, then I would have mentioned R in this line. Let's execute this line. Perfect. This is selected. Now comes the interesting part. Next is the occupation, which is a drop down field. So let's see what are the HTML properties of this drop down. You could see it is select class DDL name is equal to occupation. Now whenever you see this kind of a select, you have to use the syntax which I am showing right now. Also note the name property over here is occupation, which is unique. So I'll be using this name property. So my syntax would be obj dot find element by name. What was the name? It was occupation. Now comes the interesting part. The thing which I'm demonstrating right now is applicable only when you will see this kind of a select HTML object. So if I just expand it, I see these values: business, professional, service, other. If I want to select business, since it is a select kind of an object, I'll use dot as select dot select by text. When I'm using select by text, I have to provide the text which is present over here. In this case, it is business. I'm copying it and providing it over here. Let's execute this line of code. Perfect. Business is coming over here. Date of birth, all the day, month and year. These are drop downs. If you would see the HTML, it is similar to business. It is a select object. It has a name. So I'll leave it up to y'all. Just try to populate the date of birth field by yourself. You have to just apply the logic as we have seen for the occupation. And finally, we have to click on the submit button. So let's see the HTML properties of submit. So here we have the ID. We have the ID is btn submit. So in this case, we'll use the ID. So the syntax goes like this: obj dot find element by ID. Whatever is the ID, it is btn submit exactly as it is there mentioned in the HTML. There shall be no spelling mistakes. It is case sensitive. Dot click. Since it is a button, we would be performing a click operation, which makes sense. So once again, I drag the cursor up, click on this button, and here you could see it is clicked, and here you could see it is clicked, and we get this message on the top: data submitted successfully, which means we have successfully automated this Edge browser using Excel macros. What I'll do is I'll stop this execution, and now I will re-trigger it so that everything which we have written over here will get executed in one go. So let's observe. Chrome browser comes up, goes to the web form and performs the operation. You could see whatever values which we had provided in the script has been correctly populated over here. So this is how you could automate Edge browser using Excel macros. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. If you like my videos, I request you to please subscribe to my channel so that you'll be updated with the latest videos I would be uploading. Guys, thanks for joining. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.